Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
The rains have gone, all clear. Baseball is back to Petco, and the Giants are in town. San Francisco's all-star catcher Buster Posey, key to the Giants' 6-game winning streak. Only 3.5 behind the Dodgers, and Matt Kemp. He's enjoying his personal Padre high, a 7-game hitting streak. Padres have won 4 in a row. As we welcome you to beautiful Petco Park on this Monday night, a big crowd expected. There'll be some orange and black of the Giants here, as the Giants and Padres renew their rivalry. They're 5-5 on the season so far. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we're delighted to be back. A few days away, and we got to get back to work here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back, and the Padre fan as well. They're on kind of a streak right now. The rain delay, boy, the suspended game or the postponed game, wish they really could have went on and won that game and keep that streak going, keep that momentum. Hopefully it starts against the Giants.
But true hope will come if they can beat the best and one of the best here for 3, the Giants. Matt Kemp, his bat has awakened.
I'll tell you what, I hope the runners and the hitters before Matt Kemp get on base for Matt Kemp, because during the 7-game streak, hitting .429, 3 home runs, and 4 doubles. When you see these numbers, what is Matt Kemp doing correctly? Well, he's staying within the strike zone. Remember, earlier in the year, he'd swing out of the strike zone, dig himself into a hole, but he's crushing pitches, going the opposite way. That's the Matt Kemp we know, Dick. When he pulls the power, when he needs to, a breaking ball in, you got to pull that ball. But when he starts going to right center field for the doubles, that's when Matt Kemp is really swinging the bat well. It was evident last year. Hopefully it starts after the All-Star break tonight.
7-game hitting streak, 7 extra base hits. Let's hope that continues as well. How about Justin Upton? He's not in the lineup tonight. What's the latest report on the Padres cleanup hitter and all-star Upton? Chris Budden will have the news up to date when we come back to Petco.
it right by him, strike 3. And he got him.
Welcome back to San Diego. Ian Kennedy trying to get the Padres to win their 5th straight today and keep the streak going. But if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it without one of their best players. Justin Upton not in the lineup today, still battling with a sore left oblique. It's the same injury that he suffered on the road trip before the All-Star game. Talked to Pat Murphy about the injury. He says it's never good when one of your best players is out in a big series against one of your rivals.
It's not the best thing for your ball club, for sure. You know, you'd love to have a force like that in there, and he showed signs of really becoming the force that he really is after a month of not having things go his way.
So the good news about Justin here is they don't think it's going to be a disabled list situation. They think it's day-to-day. Good thing would be getting him some rest maybe today, tomorrow, and see how it feels heading into tomorrow's game. But first up, it's game 1 against the Giants. A battle of the streets. The Giants, 6 games. The Padres, 4 games. Who will win out? We got first pitch coming up on Fox Sports San Diego.
Brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Have you tried great tasting 5-Hour Energy lately? By Petco, what we feed them matters. By Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. And by SeaWorld. Discover the wonder of the sea. Well, some marine overhang tonight. Maybe the ball won't carry quite so well. 71 degrees at game time. Padres have taken the field against the San Francisco Giants, who are 49 and 43, 3.5 games back of the Dodgers in the NL West. And here's the Giants lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Angel Pagan, Joe Panic hitting .315. Matt Duffy almost a 300 hitter. The Giants, in fact, have the best team batting average in all of the National League, .272. And there's the guy you've got to watch out for, Buster Posey. Is he tough with men and runners in scoring position? And with Hunter Pence back, it's a different Giant lineup. Brandon Belt will give you home runs. Brandon Crawford's having a big home run year. Gregor Blanco over 300. Oh, my. And Tim Hudson can swing the bat. That's a tough lineup for the Giants.
And the scouting report for right-hander Ian Kennedy is brought to you by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And it looks something like this. Got to pitch better at home. The ERA above 6 for Ian Kennedy, and also keep the ball in the yard. Overall, 20 home runs in 16 starts. You figure out if you give up a home run per start, you're doing pretty good. But the home runs have been a big key for Ian Kennedy.
Check the Padres defense behind Kennedy. Brought to you by San Diego County Ford dealers. Venable moves to left field with Justin Upton out of the lineup. Brother Melvin Upton in center. Kemp in right. Solarte and Amarista on the left side. Jerko at second. Alonso at first. And Derek Norris behind the plate for the 30-year-old right-hander from Huntington Beach, Ian Kennedy. Angel Pagan strides to the plate. Hitting just .238 left-handed, .347 right-handed. Lots of Giants fans here, and they came with their orange and black colors and their voices, and Kennedy will try to hit the mute button.
That's a big key, I would say, Dick. No doubt about it. They travel well, these San Francisco Giants.
Pagan, Panic, and Duffy. Padres will have to stop the 4 big P's in the Giants lineup. And we are underway. The first pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Pagan, Panic, Posey, and Pence. All key members of Bruce Bochy's starting lineup. They play Pagan straight away. No shift for him. The outfield swung a little toward left center, but the infield straight up. Clint Fagan calling the balls and strikes tonight. His partners on the bases, Fairchild, Holbrook, and the crew chief Gibson is at third. The 2-strike pitch. Little inside. So for Ian Kennedy, the last 4 starts, he's 0-4 with a respectable ERA, 3.38. But in those 4 games, the Padres have scored a total of 1 run.
Yeah, you would hope in those 4 games at least have 2 victories. He's done what he could.
Another foul.
He just can't control the offense on the other end, so he's just got to concentrate on putting up zeros. Hopefully the mechanics are in order for Ian Kennedy. Sometimes works underneath and around the baseball. Therefore, his pitches have a tendency to flatten out.
Young Joe Panic, who joined the Giants at midseason a year ago, and he's a legitimate star, all-star, in fact, this year. Back with the 1-2, Kennedy. Line drive. Whoa, backhand stop. Amarista throws him out. That's a good start for the Padre defense. That ball was scorched to the backhand side of the little ninja, and he makes the play.
Not an easy play off the left-handed bat of Pagan. This ball is slicing, so Alexi has to get it on the short hop. Spins and makes a decent throw, and what a big key for any pitcher. You know, when the ball is off the bat, you're thinking, oh, here we go. I got to work from the stretch. But no. Ian Kennedy says, hats off to you, my shortstop, Alexi Amarista. Big first out.
Here's second baseman Joe Panic, a .315 hitter, and he takes strike 1, a fastball. Leads the team in runs scored and hits, and occasional power. A junior Buster Posey in looks. Pretty good pitch, 1-1.
We talked about the mechanics of Ian Kennedy, and he's made some adjustments over the last few starts, going back maybe 10 starts, but staying on top of that baseball. Lots out of the hand, pronates out in front, good stiff front leg, getting good force up top, working downhill.
Fly ball to left field. Venable cruises into the gap. 2 away. Brings up Matt Duffy. The Giants started the season without Hunter Pence, along with Posey, the leader of this team. They've missed him for a half a year. So how do they fill the gap? Well, Matt Duffy comes out of nowhere, replaces Pablo Sandoval, and is actually having a much better season than Pablo Sandoval in Boston. And then Panic continues to be an outstanding player. And then they get a top-notch pitcher. Rookie Chris Heston has a no-hitter and 9 wins. We'll see him tomorrow night. So Bruce Bochy's team, like all, have had their injuries. Matt Cain, we'll see him in the series, finally back, and Jake Peavy as well. But they're able to plug the gap with players within the system. And here's one of them, Duffy. 0-2. When we saw him in spring training, he looked like, yeah, he's a nice player and not much power, and might be a 230 hitter. Here he is at 299 with 8 home runs.
And we know when a young player has some success, it just breeds confidence. It starts to roll. Bruce Bochy shows confidence in him, puts him in the lineup.
That's more of the player we saw in spring training as Kennedy fools him with a curveball. 1-2-3 for Ian Kennedy. Jan Solarde will lead it off for the Padres. Jan Solarde will start things for the Padres. Here's the lineup, brought to you by Toyota. After Solarte, Alexi Amarista in the number 2 slot, Matt Kemp, and then Jed Jerko with Justin Upton out of the lineup will hit cleanup, followed by Yonder Alonso, then Derek Norris. Will Venable bat 7th, Melvin Upton Jr. will hit 8th, and then Kennedy against the right-hander Tim Hudson, who just turned 40 this past week.
And he's still flipping it up there. The shoulder was a little cranky there, so just coming off the DL. Sinker heavy. This kid likes to throw the sinker down the zone, and he locates well on the corners as well. He's got purpose with each and every pitch. If he misses over the heart of the plate, it's a big-time mistake for Hudson. Scouting report brought to you by Sleep Train. Woohoo! Your ticket to a better night's sleep.
First pitch is off the outside edge to Solarte, who is hitting .259 from the left side. Not quite so successful hitting right-handed, 193. Line drive, soft liner that's dying in right field. Pence has to play it on a hop and will hold Solarte to a single. So a blue pit for Solarte. Sounded like he might have broken his bat on that swing. Here's the defense for Bruce Bochy's Giants, brought to you by Renovation Realty. In the outfield, Blanco, Pagan, Pence from left to right. Crawford and Panic, the double play combination, a very good one. Duffy and Belt at the corners. Posey behind the plate. Alexi Amarista hitting just .207, but has had success against Hudson. He's 7 for 17.
I think a big key for the Padres tonight is to get to the pitcher early and get him in the stretch, but particularly Hudson. He hasn't been out there for a while. Get him into the stretch. Usually pitchers don't have their best stuff when they're in the stretch. A little first and third action early on.
Score early against these Giants is a key. Padres are 30-15 when they do score the first run. And so often the games between these two teams decided by 1 or 2 runs. So get that early lead. Crowd still filing in. A terrific audience on a Monday night. Way outside, 2-0.
Well, with Hudson, Dick, you're pretty much going to get that fastball that he's going to sink. He'll throw a splitter, a curveball, and a slider as well. But pretty much fastball splitters. You take a look at the gate early on, filling in still here at Petco Park.
It's as if they might hit 30,000 on a Monday night. Outside again, 3-0. He doesn't walk many. He's had good success too, Tim Hudson, against the Padres. In his career, he's 7-4 and an ERA under 3. Misses away again on a 3-0. So the Padres have something going early. Luke single and a walk with no one out, and that brings up their hottest hitter, Matt Kemp.
This is where the Padres have to attack early, because that's really out of character, as you mentioned, Dick, for Tim Hudson. Prior to this game, only 22 free passes and 92 plus innings. Just like an error, I think that's an error on Hudson's part. You got to take advantage of that.
He'll be watched closely coming back from the DL. Right shoulder soreness. He's missed the last 17 games. But Kemp, in this 7-game hitting streak, hitting .429 to raise his average up to .254. 3 home runs in the last 7 games. Check swing. He goes around. Most career runs batted in against the Giants. Kemp leads the way with 73. Chance to add right here.
Those big RBIs coming into Dodger blue against the Giants, that rivalry. Now Matt Kemp, hopefully he can chalk up another one right here.
Shift is on. 3 on the left side. Brandon Belt, the sole figure between first and second defensively. Solarte from second, Amarista from first. Well, you saw that second pitch. Hudson stared in. He thought he had a strike at the knees, but didn't get the call. 2-1. Pat Murphy got his team tying their best winning streak of the season, 4. No sense putting on the brakes now. Let's keep that train going forward. Center field and right to Pagan. No advance by Solarte. 1 away.
Well, with runners in scoring position, Tim Hudson's been around the block. He knows all about Matt Kemp. So, a lot of pitchers, first pitch breaking ball, down and away. Okay, now he's ahead 0-1. Tried to nitpick. He got squeezed on that one. Changes the at-bat. Another fastball. So what does Tim Hudson go back to? Hitters count. I'm going to pull the string. Slider got him out in front a little bit, hence the easy fly ball to center field.
Hitting cleanup, second baseman Jed Jerko. Jed at .225. 4 home runs.
That's just good pitching by Hudson. Runners in scoring position. The guy who can do damage, and he throws a breaking ball in a fastball count. Hey.
Oh, the breaking ball that spun right over the top of the helmet of Jerko. Since being recalled from AAA, Jed hitting .260. Couple of home runs. Crowds him 2-0.
Well, the release point off a little bit. The grip just not there at this at bat for Tim Hudson.
You see the circle emblem Lon over the Giants logo for Lon Simmons, a great broadcaster, a Hall of Fame broadcaster with the Giants so many decades. And inside again, 3-0.
You know, I've always felt as a pitcher on a humid night like tonight, you get the rosin bag and you get a pretty good feel for the baseball, but right now, not even close as Yonder Alonso waits on deck.
Jerko might be swinging here, 3-0. Takes all the way, and he just did get the high corner for that strike. Padres with runners at first and second, 1 out here in the first. And a 3-1 pitch coming up to Jerko. Same spot as the previous delivery, 3-2.
And that was the slider. A little tight slider there for a strike. Tim Hudson, 2 batters in a row. Kemp, Jerko pitching backwards, breaking balls in fastball counts, and with runners in scoring position as well.
And the count remains full.
See those pitches to Jerko? Up, missing up and in a little bit. That could spell danger as Bruce Bochy on the left. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, on the right. Keeping a close eye on Tim Hudson.
Solarte started this first inning with a bloop single to right. Amarista with a walk. Kemp has flown out. And now 3-2 again to Jerko. And another foul.
And look at all those pitches are, Dick. He's really trying to jam Jed Jerko there with those 2 seamers. A couple of those were sliders up in the zone, up and in.
Hudson is the winningest active pitcher with 219 big league wins.
That's a nice career. Let's focus on first sign after 2. Just a hunch. Fastball away. So let's see if he tries to pepper it away. Fastball stance for Posey. There it is.
Another foul. 8 pitch at bat so far for Jerko, and they running the count up on Hudson, just back off the injured list. Only 1 out, 18 pitches.
So let's look for the first sign after 2 from Buster Posey. Curveball or a splitter, possibly. Maybe the splitter. That's his second best pitch.
Oh, we chased ball 4, and that was the breaking ball. 2 away.
Well, number 2 was the slider. The tight slider down and away. We've seen it against Kemp. Now we've seen it against Jerko. First couple pitches, not even close. So Jed Jerko is thinking, well, maybe I'm going to draw a walk here, but he battles back. This is the one breaking ball there that he really could have done some damage with. But what's the main objective here from Hudson? He's trying to tie up Jerko with fastballs up and in, and then he gets him down away, kind of reaching for it. Almost by that swing, looked like Jerko was anticipating something in, but then he just got him away and had the bad swing for the strikeout.
So it's up to Alonso. Try to do some business here in the first. He takes outside. So unlike Kennedy in his first inning, getting a strike, first pitch strike to all 3 hitters, Hudson has fallen behind the Padre hitters. They've not taken advantage yet. That was a pretty good rally from 3-0. He threw 5 straight strikes and then a pitch that was a ball away. Jerko swung and missed.
Buster wants this one down. Kind of motion just before that pitch is thrown with his hand. Keep it down. It was a 2-seamer down.
Again, he falls behind the hitter. Alonso at 283 as you look at Tim Lincecum, who is now out of the starting rotation with the return of PV and Matt Cain. Three and 0 again. So he walked Amarista on 4 pitches. He went 3-0 to Jerko. Now 3-0 Alonso.
Madison Bumgarner enjoying a cup of coffee, watching a big league ball game.
Pitch yesterday against Arizona. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. So Tim Hudson struggling a bit with his control here in the first inning. Loaded the bases on a single and 2 walks. This is where the Padres need to take advantage, get to him early. He's been kind with his wildness. Here's Derek Norris. Solarte, Amarista, and Alonso aboard. All 3 left-handed hitters.
Well, one thing Derek Norris was keeping a close eye on, those pitches to Jed Jerko. A lot of pitches in. Right-handed hitting Norris. Let's see if he goes the same way here. Try to maybe bust him in with a sinker, get a ground ball. Or maybe even a first pitch slider. Yep. He got crossed up, it looked like, too.
Norris has had a scuffling June and July. His average dropping down to 234. He has 11 home runs, 20 doubles. Looks like he's a little closer to the plate and a more widespread here in this at bat. One and one.
Wow, two sliders down and away. Almost the same exact spot.
25 pitches in this first inning. So far, no damage.
Might see a fastball in here.
2-1. The action pitch coming up with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the Padre first.
Well, I'm trying to put myself in the place of a hitter as Will Venable waits on deck. He's went down and away with sliders. He's come in with the two-seam fastball. Derek's really got to think center of the diamond here. Be quick to the baseball, whether it's in or out for a strike. Try to punch it right up the center of the diamond.
The slider, 2-2.
Look at those 4 pitches, Dick. Right on the outside corner and on the inside corner. Working around that slider, the front side from Derek Norris opening up, exposing that front side, and that off-speed pitch bringing him to his knee.
'28th pitch of this first inning from Tim Hudson. One hopper, Crawford flips to panic, and the inning is over. Padres lead 3, no score after 1.
Before today's batting practice, Brandon Morrow threw a simulated game today, about 3 sets of 15 pitches. Here it is. The coaches said afterwards that Brandon looked good, he felt good, so here's the plan moving forward. If he wakes up tomorrow, still everything's fine, I'll throw a bullpen probably on Wednesday, and then if he feels good after that, he will begin a rehab assignment as early as this weekend, and they would like to get him back soon because he's been out of action since the beginning of May.
Thank you, Chris. And Brandon Morrow, an outstanding job when he was healthy.
Well, Chris makes a great point. It's always the day after when you throw a game like Brandon did. It's not the same intensity as a real game. It never will be until you get out there between the lines. You get the umpire, You get the crowd. But tomorrow's a big day for Brandon Morrow.
Buster Posey leading off the Giant second inning. And 2-0. Morrow, 5 starts before the injury, was 2-0 with a 2.73 ERA. Well, Posey leads the Giants in just about every offensive category, including those 3: batting average, home runs, RBIs. And 3-0. Clint Fagan has a tight strike zone. Posey has enjoyed hitting here in 36 games at Petco, .338 and 7 home runs. Green lighted, and he fouls it back. Bases loaded against Kennedy on June 24th, and Posey clears the barrier, a grandmaster. One of 7 home runs he's hit here at Petco in his career. Rolls that foul. His slugging percentage is .574. Well, that home run was at AT&T. But here at Petco, his slugging percentage is .574. That's the second best of any current major leaguer. Adam LaRoche a bit better.
Yeah, with that swing and that command of the strike zone as a hitter, this kid's going to hit anywhere over the course of time. Don't you think, Dave?
Yeah. You get him out, and that's a big victory. And
yes.
plus, he's so tough with runners in scoring position. He's a money hitter.
And Darren Balsley, the pitching coach of the Padres, he works hours upon hours and try to go through scouting reports for these pitchers to get them prepared. He can be pitched too. There's no doubt about it. The Padre pitching staff has proven that over the course of their time. There's Darren.
3-2. Charged by Amarista, has to hurry. And gets him. Posey, since that fractured ankle a couple of years ago, never back to the speed he brought to the Giants as a rookie, and that allowed Amarista to make the play.
That play looked like it was in slow motion. This is real time. Well, that's slowed down a little bit, but as you mentioned, with the bad ankle, you know, infielders know that. They know on a little chopper that they can take their time on Buster Posey.
All right, Mark, how about the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by San Diego Honda dealers?
Okay, well, with this guy coming up to play, make Pence the hunted. Get it?
Not Hunter. Okay,
yeah, and then repeat SF performance. Ian Kennedy, when the last time he's got great numbers against the Giants, but the last time against SF, you know, kind of duplicate that. Put together a good start. Go possibly 6-7 innings deep into the game.
He had that fracture in spring training that knocked him out the first half of the year. You think they didn't miss him? When he's in the lineup, 25 games, the Giants are 19-6. 1-1 the count.
Well, that one outing I'm talking about, San Francisco, was back in May. 7 innings, only gave up a run for Ian Kennedy.
Big man chokes up on the bat. Unorthodox fly ball to center, hit pretty well, but Melvin Upton able to cruise back and make the play. With this heavy air, marine layer tonight, and humidity of the last couple of days, it doesn't appear the ball is going to carry very well tonight. We'll see. Ian Kennedy, as we told you earlier, in his career, 10-5 against San Francisco and a terrific ERA. This season, here at home, not so good.
Just missing over the heart of the plate too much. He's got to have corner command to these Giant hitters and to any batter that steps up there to the plate.
Brandon Belt brings his power to the lineup. 9 home runs. And with the shift on, he says, I'll bunt for a base hit.
Look at that.
Only Amarista on the left side. A 2-out bunt single. Well, that's what hitters are going to have to start doing to discourage the shift.
Good bat control from Brandon Belt. I mean, this ball was placed perfectly, and it curves just around third base for the infield single.
Yeah, the only hope for the Padres, that would kick foul, but it was hit too hard. So 2-out bunt single, the first Giants hit, brings up Brandon Crawford. Look at the home run totals for Crawford, 12 already. Never regarded as a power hitter. Swing and a miss.
93 on the fastball. That is a good sign from Ian Kennedy.
Crawford was the players' selection to the National League All-Star team in Cincinnati earlier. A nice compliment to him. He's had a good hitting year, and he's terrific with the glove. His 55 runs batted in, most of any major league shortstop. Pretty good production from your number 7 hitter.
Yeah, not bad at all. And if he could do that, that's just extra gravy for the Giants, because they know that the kid can pick it at short. We've seen him, one of the better shortstops out there. I mean, let's face it, he's no Johnny LeMaster. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Obviously, Brandon Crawford, a better shortstop than Johnny LeMaster, who was a darn good shortstop back in the day.
1-1. See where the Giants signed the former Padre Everth Cabrera.
I saw that. He's in the minor leagues with the Gigantes.
Sacramento, back up in case of an injury of an infielder, and of course a good base runner.
Also, Kevin Franson has made his way back in the Giants chain. Padre for a little bit in spring training years back.
A useful player. 2-2. 93 again on the heater.
I love the logo, Dick. What do you think?
I do too. I like the sunshine yellow and the gas lamp district arch that kind of covers it. Padres sea blue as well.
I love it.
Popped up over the screen behind home plate.
Yeah, you incorporate the palm trees, which says San Diego. The sun, of course, America's finest city.
You know, before we know it, we're going to be talking, hey, the All-Star game's a couple of weeks away. That's going to be some exciting 2016 season.
Great looking logo.
Two and two. Oh, nice stop by Alonso on a terrible throw over by Kennedy. Two-out bunt single for Brandon Belt. 2-2 the count. Number 22 on the mound. Got it. Change up. Second strikeout for Ian Kennedy. And that'll do it for the Giants in the second. Padres in the bottom half of the inning will start with Will Venable. Will Venable here in the second. And it's time now for our Mission Fed ticket hunt winners. Mission Fed hiding Padres prize packs around town. Follow Fox Sports San Diego and Mission Fed on Twitter for your chance to win. Will Venable hitting .256. Melvin Upton and then Kennedy to follow. Check swing and did not go. 1-1.
I think Will Venable may have gotten a break there on that breaking ball. Down and in from Tim Hudson.
Hudson with a loop hit by Solarte and a couple of walks to load him up in the first. They got Norris to ground out to end the inning. Got a call there. Split finger.
Yep. Good movement at 79. Well, Tim Hudson, like Ian Kennedy, if they find that groove, they can have some quick innings out there. So you got to look for that pitch up in the zone. Go to Hacken.
Ooh. So far, he's not Tim Hudson sharp, but wiggled off the hook in the first. And he gets Venable inside on the breaking ball.
Yep.
Second strikeout for Hudson.
Remember the slider we talked about on the check swing? Well, this one he just kind of shortens it up a little bit. Didn't really have that big break. Almost cutter-like. That's what I'm going to say. Almost like a cutter on the inside part of the plate for the strikeout.
Melvin Upton Jr. He's raised his batting average up over 200. A couple of home runs. Ball one. Well, tomorrow night, 6:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Game 2 of Grisimer Despagne for the Padres against rookie Chris Heston. Terrific 9-5 record for the Giants. Inside 2-0. Justin Upton on the sidelines, studying pitcher Hudson. That oblique, left oblique, bothering him. Padres don't want that to be aggravated.
Yeah, you want to get that right now. You'd rather go 2 days rather than 2 weeks.
So Melvin Jr. will take over. Two-hopper to Crawford, and the shortstop fires to first for the out. That'll bring up Kennedy.
Hey, we talked about Brandon Crawford, right? Pretty darn good shortstop. He wears number 35. Another good shortstop. Came up with a rookie with the Giants back in the day. Remember Chris Spire?
Yeah.
He wore number 35 as well.
Good call.
Yeah. Had a long career. I think Brandon Crawford's going to have a long career as well.
Kennedy digging a toe hold. He's 2 for 21 so far. And slider hits the outside corner. One home run in his career. Center field charged by Pagan. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hudson. After 2 at Petco, no score.
Kennedy and his success against the Giants. Dick mentioned it earlier. Career 10-5, but why? Well, all these are strikeouts. He's going up and out of the zone by design. Now, early, the first couple of pitches, you don't want to go up there. You fall behind. But if he's hitting his corners and then makes these Giant hitters fish up and out of the zone, he should have a successful night. We just saw the proof right there. Hopefully it continues tonight.
Looking in at home plate from foul territory. From that angle, looks like the white foul line is wide of the foul pole, but that's just an optical illusion.
Yep.
Now Kennedy will face the 8-hitter Gregor Blanco, the 31-year-old Venezuelan, then pitcher Hudson, and the leadoff man Pagan. Hit well to right. That chases Kemp back, and it goes off the top of the wall and into the jack deck. Skips up into the crowd for a home run. Goodness, it didn't appear that had any chance of being a home run. A line drive that just skidded off the top of the wall. And Blanco's third home run of the entire season. Giants lead 1-0.
We talked about location, and at this level, even when you miss a little bit, Gregor Blanco hits a fastball that just hits the top of the fence, then goes out and over. He wanted it down and away. He missed over the heart of the plate for the home run.
Just long enough by inches. But the Giants have a 1-0 lead, and here's Hudson. Not a bad hitter. If you go back to his college days, Hudson at Auburn as a senior, he was the SEC Player of the Year. Not only did he win a lot of games as a pitcher, 15-2, but he hit .396 and 18 homers.
Yeah. All around great athlete.
Blanco himself smiling as if he's surprised that one went out. And down goes Hudson swinging for the third Kennedy strikeout. And time now for our Arco top tier profile. Ian Kennedy and his career against the Giants this year. We're just taking a look at the last 4 starts. 1-1 with an ERA of 1.17. Can't ask much more than that, but the Padres, as we mentioned earlier, have not supported Kennedy with much offense this year. Pagan, hard ground ball to short. First time up, and that was the backhanded play made by Amarista. The home run, 371 feet. 370 and 6 inches, and it's a double. So the Giants getting unusual power from men that you wouldn't have expected. Panik has 7, Duffy has 8, Crawford 12, and Blanco with only 2 gets his third tonight. A ball and a strike to Pagan. So that's the 21st home run given up by Kennedy this year in just 86 plus innings. He always has been a fly ball pitcher, a home run pitcher. It's just how many can you afford to give up in a season? It has cost him of late. Especially here at Petco.
Just needs better at corner command with that fastball. That was a fastball that Blanco hit out.
Up the middle and through. Pagan with the base hit. With 1 out, that'll bring up Joe Panik.
Well, Pagan just playing a little game of pepper there. Fastball down, using the big part of the field. Not a really good on-base percentage for Pagan at .302, but hit the ball hard the first time up, and he's aboard with a single there.
The 24-year-old Panik from St. John's University in Queens, New York. Abbott himself quite a season. .315. Pops it up. Angling is Amarista. calls off Solarte and makes the catch in fair territory with the second out.
That's his ball the whole way. Got to communicate, got to yell. Make it known so people in the stands can hear you, and your third baseman can peel off.
Matt Duffy comes up.
Better angle going straight across, and so the Solarte peels off. So Alexi directing traffic out there for the second out.
Duffy struck out his first time. Chased the ball outside. When the season began, the third baseman for the Giants to replace Pablo Sandoval was Casey McGee, who was a Northern California product, and they had hoped he'd do well. He didn't. Eventually released. And this young guy took his spot, and he has delivered. Hit away from batting 300.
When you look at the way Bruce Bochy constructs his lineup, it's pretty. Matt Duffy, when he wakes up and knows that he's going to be hitting in the middle of Joe Panik, as you mentioned, having a good year, and then Buster Posey hitting behind him, I think that does wonders for any young kid, particularly Matt Duffy, to put up good numbers. He's going to get some good pitches to hit with Posey waiting on deck. And he's taking advantage of it.
Line drive to right, and Kemp gives ground and makes the catch. But Gregor Blanco with a 371-foot homer. It's 1-0.
Nothing. Nice to finally see some sunshine today after, well, an odd appearance yesterday at Petco Park that you don't see very much. The tarp was out and a whole lot of rain. In fact, you want to know how much rain came yesterday, or actually the entire month of July in California? Weather Channel tweeted out that they had more rain this July than in all the Julys in the last 100 years combined. So I talked to the grounds crew about it yesterday. They said they were completely prepared. In fact, they had been talking with the Weather Channel, and they said they predicted it up to the 15-minute point. So we knew what was coming. Today, they were prepared, came in extra early, had to soak up some of the puddles that were around the dirt, add more dirt. They said the hardest part was getting the tarp off because of all the rain. He goes, you would not believe just how heavy that is.
Chopped over the mound, Solarte, and there's the gold glove of Crawford making another play. Not a lot of shortstop make it look that easy, and Solarte's out. Yeah, the weather, Chris, was, I mean, it just had this whole Southern California populace just flipped upside down. How can this be July to have a storm? And it was so hot and humid. I mean,
how hot and humid was it?
I walked out. I walked outside, and the bricks around my pool were sweating.
That's hot.
Hot, yeah. But he went right into the pool, and we needed
exactly
water. Conservation. Amarista walked the first time.
Well, hopefully it rains hits and runs during this big series for the Padres Giants. For the Padres.
Trailing 1-0 here in the third. A ball and a strike to Amarista. Yeah, the typical San Francisco-San Diego game of this year and the last couple of years, tight. One-run games prevail. So you got to make them count.
Yeah, and who's going to capitalize on the one mistake, whether it's a pitching mistake, a throwing mistake, a mental error, a physical error. Hudson just at times doesn't have that feel for that breaking ball. Missing big time a handful of times already out of the strike zone.
And he falls behind Amarista again, 3-1.
I've been seeing Hudson go to the rosin bag but one time tonight as Matt Kemp waits on deck. He's doing a lot of wiping on his pants with the back of his hand.
And for the second time, Amarista draws a walk. Third given up by Hudson.
Boy, he was really ticked off after that pitch. Showed some emotion after ball 4 from Tim Hudson.
He doesn't want to put a man on in front of Matt Kemp. Jake Peavy, the Padres stars of yesteryear. We won't see him in the series.
Missing away up and out of the strike zone, and Tim Hudson's like, come on! Make a pitch, make an adjustment. Yeah, he's hard on himself.
Kemp, with runners at first and second, no one out in the first, flying to center field. Shift on. And he hits this one well to right center, but Pagan is on his horse, can't get there, and it is gone. Touch 'em all. Wow, the ball is indeed carrying tonight. Kemp has done it again. Number 10. And his 4th in the last 8 games. And the Padres jump in front 2-1. And that walk indeed ahead of Kemp was costly. Now Kemp's hitting streak reaches 8 games, his longest as a Padre.
Now that's the Matt Kemp we know and love. Talked about him in our game open. 102.7. The big hits coming your way tonight from San Diego.
AM and FM.
That's right. I'm going satellite.
Jerko takes it on the outside corner, 1-1.
We talked about Matt Kemp going to the opposite field. He did it so many times with the Dodgers against the Padres. Right center field is when he is hot.
That was a laser, just like Gregor Blanco's was a line drive, not hit nearly as far. We're measuring Kemp's now, but it'll be over 400 feet. Two and 1 to Jerko. So the Padres claim the lead here in the third. Third baseman foul. Duffy. There's a young fan that has himself a Kemp home run souvenir. And the measurement 409 feet. Long enough. Well, Kemp leads the Padres now in RBIs with 52. Another foul into the dirt at home plate by Jerko. And that gives Kennedy at least 1 run to work with. Since he received only 1 run the last 4 games to get 2 and 3 innings, pop the champagne. By the mound, there's Crawford on the run. And that short glove and strong arm. Another put out. That's his 4th assist already tonight.
Well, here we see Matt Kemp and his strength being right center field. On the left, look where this pitch is. Matt Kemp has realized this ball leaks over the heart of the plate. A pitch that a hitter could pull, but look at him get his hands through. He stays inside that baseball and just drives it. Now to the right, hands through, barrel of the bat traveling on a level plane and just driving that ball to right center field. Wow, what a pretty effortless, wasn't that effortless?
Yes.
Effortless swing for Matt Kemp.
Alonso walked the first time and fouls it back in that Fox super slow motion. When the bat hardly wiggles on contact,
Yes.
you know it's going to go.
Yeah.
When you don't make good contact, the bat shivers and often shatters. Mark Kotze, hitting coach, snuggling up to Kemp there. 1-1. So coming off the disabled list, 55 pitches. Hudson will be watched closely by Bruce Bochy.
If I were to guess, I would say around 85 to 95 pitches for Hudson.
Slap foul, 1-2.
You also have to keep an eye on the velocity of Hudson. That was at 88. Hey, the Rebels are here.
Well, the Extreme Diamond sports teams paraded before the game tonight. Several hundred of them, and these young kids staying for the game and having a great time. Good to have them with us here at Petco. Lays off. High fastball, 2-2. There's some more of the kids from around the area. Foul tip and in and out and off the shin guard, maybe opposing.
Yeah, it looked like you got that in the inside of the left ankle, left leg. That was a splitter, change-up grip. Boy, Buster's didn't know. It looked like he didn't know which way to handle that ball.
Right on that protection of the shins or on the ankle. The home run by Kemp is significant. It was his 700th RBI that came around on the home run. And a full count. Alonso, Hudson unhappy with himself, and this just isn't the Tim Hudson you expect to see, who doesn't walk anyone. He's walked 3, and it's cost him here in the third. And into some long counts, and this will be the 60th pitch tonight. Out of play. Down in Souvenir Corner.
Trying to keep it down and away to Alonso, giving him left field. And that's exactly the way the Giants outfield is playing. Blanco towards that left field line and Angel Pagan towards left center field. A big gap in right center. You leave something up soft, you can get out in front and shoot it that way.
Another foul. You know what I really regret tonight?
What's that?
That we have this cloud cover. I wanted to see the moon tonight.
Full moon tonight?
This is the anniversary
of
1969. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were romping around up there.
Are you sure they went up there?
46 years ago. You bet I am.
You sure it wasn't done in some Hollywood studio somewhere?
Oh, come on now.
Did you ever see the movie Capricorn 1?
I did not. No, I am a Capricorn. Why would I want to go see the movie?
That's your homework.
I've already got it. Yeah.
There's the pitch total, 62. Not really the best as far as ratio is concerned.
That ball hit well to right center field. That's got a lot of carry as well, and it's off the base of the wall. Alonso jogs into second with a double, and the Padres keep it going here in the third.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about, leaving something soft up in the zone, and Alonso taking advantage of it, wearing out that right center field gap. They had him shading over towards the other side. This looks like a changeup of some sort, maybe a high splitter. Tim Hudson working around it, and the pitch is up. It's elevated, and you talk about crushing a mistake. Let's see if there's any vibration on the bat. Just a little bit. Matt Kemp.
He was up on his toes to see whether or not that might clear that fence in front of the sand pit. Derek Norris grounded to short his first time. 2-out double for Alonso. Padres a chance to add after the Kemp 2-run homer. Ball 1. He's just not Hudson sharp tonight.
You know what I look for? I look for the body language after a pitch. Kind of shrugging his shoulders a little bit. Not really that Tim Hudson that we know. Getting right back on that hill. He's shown some frustration tonight as well. Not really the best. That was a good slider.
Norris chases. 1-1.
Tim Hudson, I mean, obviously his record speaks for itself. The guy is such a pro. He knows what he can and cannot do. Doesn't try too hard when his back is up against the wall. Knows his limitations as a 40-year-old. Knows how to pitch.
He's right back with the slider. 1-2. Well, Matt Kemp, so quiet the first half of the season. He's on a tear. Just as we hit July of this season. 8 games, 4 home runs, and 4 doubles. And 10 runs batted in. Advantage of Kemp's 2-run homer and any subsequent runs is to quiet the visitors from San Francisco. Can't buy a seat up there. Every game sold out. So it's quite a parade of fans that come in to Lindbergh Airport from San Francisco and enjoy our great ballpark. Popped up. Panic at second base. Waves off competition. And the inning comes to an end, but the Padres a walk to Amarista, and Matt Kemp drills one. 409 feet, clearing the right center field fence. Home run number 10 for Kemp, and the Padres lead 2-1. Baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino, only 25 miles from Petco Park. And by Jerome's Furniture, proud sponsor of the best seats in the house. 2-1 Padres, top of the fourth inning. Matt Kemp's two-run homer of Tim Hudson, staking Kennedy to his first lead. And a ground ball toward the hole. Amarista off balance, the long throw, and the tag of Posey for the out. Good work by Alonso to come off the bag and complete the play and get the tough Buster Posey for the first out. And a couple of marks here. Let's mark the spot. Mark Sweeney.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Thanks,
Sweeney. You really appreciate it. It's nice to have a little holiday, but it's great to be back at the ballpark.
Well, it's good to have you guys back, too. And we filled in. We took a look at your spots a little bit.
2 games. I thought we were going to keep my seat warm. It was only wet.
Well, it was wet. It was nice to see, too, as we need the rain.
Mark Sweeney, what do you see early on from Ian Kennedy?
Well, I like Ian Kennedy because he's aggressive with his fastball. And obviously the home run, and you got to locate those pitches, but battling back after that home run, and you see that.
I think he underestimates his fastball sometimes. 93, it's not 98, but still, if he locates it, he should do quite well with that pitch.
Hunter Pence fly to right center his first time. The count goes 1-1.
I think really when you look at Ian Kennedy, the big key for me, and we always see fastball command, but I think that breaking ball is so important for him to throw that early, get a good feel for that early in the game, and it's just inconsistent pitch for me.
That's a strike with a fastball.
And that's when you say, you make a good point, to where hitters start eliminating that pitch.
Yes.
They can see it out of the hand. Hey, if this guy's not going to throw it for a strike early in the game, I'm not going to swing at it. I have to have him throw it for a strike first to prove it to me.
Definitely. And when you eliminate pitches, it's so much easier for you to do.
Rip to Amarista. One hop. He can't handle it. Had the ball, and then in the transfer, trickled out of his glove, and Pence is safe on an error.
Well, just a good old-fashioned boot by Alexi Amarista. Hit hard, and he knows he wants to have that one back. He makes that 99 out of 100 times. Maybe a little bit too quick on the transfer. He had plenty of time. And it looks like it was the transfer.
And you know what happens, guys, is that middle infielders will actually flip it to their throwing hand. It's not always an exchange where you reach in and grab it, finger it. It's actually flipped to that throwing hand, which makes it feel very comfortable with them. They're always doing it when they're warming up.
Brandon Belt bunted his way on, beat the shift with a bunt up the third baseline.
Mark, what did you think of that? Brandon Belt, remember, beating the shift.
You know what? I think a lot of people like it because of the shift, but with 2 outs, a power hitting guy, I don't like that offensive play. I mean, I like seeing it when the Padres are seeing it because he ends up striking out Crawford to end the inning, but that's not something that I think is a good play. If you're leading off the inning and beating the shift, I like the offensive play.
Having a good year against the Padres, Belt. And he's hit Kennedy well through the years. There's the shift. There's the bunt.
And listen, it's padding his stats, which is really a good thing. If Crawford comes up with a double and scores him, I like it. If Brandon Belt's trying to steal second base to get in scoring position after that, I like it. But when you sit at first base and the next guy punches out, it's not a good offensive play.
Especially a man with power. He's got 9 home runs. 2-1.
Yeah, with the way Ian Kennedy, we talked about it, the home run hurting him. It's a chance for Brandon Belt to maybe run into it. So he's almost doing the Padres a favor by doing that.
Yeah, and you look at the stats of Brandon Crawford against Ian Kennedy. They don't match up, too. You have to have knowledge of who's in front of you, who's behind you.
Pence with 1 out at first base. He's always a threat to run. He takes a high fastball strike.
Well, that's a pitch that is hardly ever called, but I think a legitimate strike, that pitch up and away. Whether it's, and it looks like it maybe got a call there.
So with 2 strikes, Solarte switches over to the second base side. And Amarista, who was on the right side of the infield, goes over the shortstop. Full count, or 2-2 rather. Now 3-2. Brandon Crawford 12 home runs on deck. See if Bochy sends Pence 3-2 here.
I think he might send him.
He goes. Ball 4. That's the first walk from Kennedy, so an error and a walk, and the Giants threaten here in the 4th. Brandon Crawford steps up. Crawford, when he first came up to the Giants, was just a line drive hitter, 3 home runs, then the next year 4 home runs, then 9, and then last year 10. But he's got 12 here at midseason this year. Pops it up. Shortstop Amarista for the second out. And it'll be up to Gregor Blanco, who homered his last at bat. He was surprised that ball carried out of here. Blanco's line drive.
Yeah, and you know what? He squared it up. It was a mistake with the fastball, and just, you know, that's the difference here. And you take a look at the swing by Gregor Blanco. The elevated fastball, something you're looking for. You're hitting off the fastball. You get it. It just skips off the top of the fence. But again, capitalizing on mistakes, and you have to do that at this level.
So a 4-out inning, and 3 outs have been made. You count the error by Amarista, and Kennedy trying to pitch around Blanco and get out of it. 2 on, 2 out, 2-1 Padres. Starts him with a breaking ball.
Well, there's the yacker we're looking for early in the count for a strike. And Mark, as a hitter, that's in the back of your mind. Maybe this goes 6-7 pitches deep. Then you bounce one, but earlier he sees, he threw that for a strike. I have to swing at it.
I agree with that, and that's the thing. That's the difference maker for me, for Ian Kennedy. Now he has options moving forward. Can you set up the hitter? Can you expose him out of the strike zone? That's what you have to do to show that you will throw that for a strike.
Blanco having a surprisingly good season, hitting .305 with now 3 home runs. Oh, that one fooled Norris. He got crossed up, but able to catch the ball and get the strike.
A couple of things, like you said, Dick, having to react and catch that, and then also, secondly, getting the call. There's the curveball out of the hand. He thinks it's a fastball. Oh my gosh, it's going to be up. No, then he recognizes it. He gets it and still gets the call. And a lot of times you don't get that call.
Credit the home plate umpire staying with that, because usually that is not called. Clint Fagan ends up making that call, and it's the correct one. It was a strike. But so many times you see that not called a strike, the reaction in the location, but how the catcher catches it.
That's got to be the worst feeling as a catcher. You're anticipating a fastball, then all of a sudden it wrinkles in one.
So Kennedy ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Check swing in the dirt.
Now that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that secondary stuff now. It looks like a strike out of the hands and then out of the strike zone. Here's the pitch, and you can see it located in the right spot. Nice job by Norris blocking that pitch.
Okay, what does he throw here? 1 and 2.
Well, now the curveball sets up that high fastball. I like that action, and maybe expose him out of the strike zone again.
Remember those strikeouts we showed earlier before you got here, Mark, were strikeouts, fastballs up and out of the zone. He might have that up his sleeve right here.
Struck him out. Fastball at 93. No runs. 2 left. An error. And Kennedy works out of what could be a troublesome inning. to you by Geico, April 2013, bottom of the 12th. Sergio Romo pitching, Andre Alonso had doubled, Jerko had singled, and Nick Hundley safe at first on Marco Scudero's error. Alonso and the Padres on a walk-off win, 8-7 against the Giants. Padres 2, Giants 1, bottom of the 4th. And Will Venable, Melvin Upton Jr., and Ian Kennedy to hit against Tim Hudson, who has required 68 pitches to get through 3 innings. He got Venable swinging the first time.
Hey, nice first pitch change up there, Dick, by Tim Hudson.
Hudson is scheduled to lead off at the top of the 5th inning. And depending how the Padres fare here in the 4th, it could be his last inning. You don't want to yank him too soon. Get into that bullpen early.
Well, that's
70 pitches already.
That's good for the Padres' perspective, especially the first game of the series. And you know, Matt Cain moving forward, he's still trying to work his way into that pitch count area. This is big for the Padres if they get Tim Hudson out.
1-2.
You know, that bullpen for the San Francisco Giants has been excellent, but also worked a lot. 26 in the 3rd innings, I think, with a ridiculous ERA.
Actually, 22 2/3 the last 6 games with a 1.19 ERA.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, but also a lot of innings.
Ball 2 strikes to Will. And Hudson continues to have trouble consistently throwing strikes. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he goes to another full count.
I can't imagine guys pitching at 40. I mean, it's quite a feat, isn't it?
Especially the way he's gone about it. This is a guy that would take the ball at any moment.
Ground ball right to the 3rd baseman. Duffy is way off the line and throws out Venable. Bumgarner pitched yesterday for the 6th straight Giants win in Arizona. Despaigne and Chris Heston tomorrow at 6:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. Wednesday day game will be on the air at noon. And James Shields will shoot for his 9th win against Matt Cain, who's 1-1 coming back from injury.
I think that's a big not equalizer, I should say, key component to the Giants' success. Matt Cain, if he can get back to the Matt Cain they know after injury, and have that location that he can spot his fastball and then the breaking stuff, I think it's a big part of the Giants' success down the stretch, Mark.
Very true, and Matt Cain is a very talented young man, but not the same Matt Cain as you saw earlier in his career. You got to remember, too, and with all the success that the Giants have had with the last 5 years, obviously 3 championships, that's more innings tacked on to these guys. A lot of shorter off seasons.
You pay the next season, too,
no
by
question.
The way.
Yes.
But you know, guys, when it's all said and done, it is worth it to win a world championship. And if somebody's got to eat it the next season, whether an injury goes down, but you know what? That's part of the deal.
He went around clearly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Away. And it's 2-2. Just got the head of the bat to spoil that one.
Here's a question I always love to pose to people. You win a world championship.
You're posing it to us.
Yes. You can win a world championship, but one of your, and I don't wish this upon anybody, but I'm just saying, you can win a world championship, but one of your 5 guys has to go down next year with Tommy John surgery.
What's the question?
The question is, are you willing to sacrifice one of your starters for a world championship? I am.
I think everyone wants
and I don't
a world
wish that upon anybody.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, but my point is, like you said, you intensify the season by going to the postseason, and those extra innings, somebody's bound to get hurt.
Slice down the right field line. Will that stay fair? Pence into the corner and foul ball.
We've got a game break coming up. Red Sox, Halos. I think they had a doubleheader today because of the washout. Stay tuned for that
night,
one.
yeah. Yeah, in fact, the Angels won the first game 11-1. We'll see how it's going in the second. One out, 2-2 to Melvin Upton Jr. rather. 6-3 put out the first time. Pulls that foul ball.
You know, guys, you think about Tim Hudson, and the difference to me is the velocity on the fastball, the differential of pitches. You're seeing the location is wavering tonight, but when you're not spot on and you don't have the velocity, and the difference between your secondary stuff and your velocity on your fastball just changes the game. Now the hitter's looking for that mistake and something that's elevated on Tim Hudson.
You know what else I love? When a pitcher like Tim Hudson can reinvent himself and throw the BP fastball. Not just always try to top out at 91 or 92 if that's the case. Hey, take a little bit off. Once in a while you get burned. Fastball away, possibly here, two-seamer.
Got him. 88-mile-an-hour fastball strikes out Melvin Upton. Is 2 away.
Hey, tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag, that's hashtag SDDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Take a selfie with the professor? You bet.
You a selfie guy, Professor?
Takes him all the time.
Isn't that egoistic to be a selfie?
Yeah, let's try one on this computer of muds.
You think we'll win something with this?
No, probably not.
Oh, that's Mark Grant's in that picture.
It's a great shot.
Thank you. It is great.
You like selfies, don't you?
Sure I do. It's a fun way to show you're having fun at the ballpark and tweet it out. Use the hashtag.
I love seeing pictures.
I like books with a lot of pictures.
1-1. Rolled out in front of that. Could be a base hit for Kennedy. Posey gets him by a half step. Good play by Buster Posey. That was a perfect swinging bunt. 1-2-3 go the Padres in the fourth, but they lead it 2-1. Ball from Stephen Wright, and Albert Pujols deposits it into the left field seats. And the Angels take a 1-0 lead in the second game, second inning. And here's Pujols tying Mike Schmidt, number 15 all time on the Major League home run list. Moving up as he always improves his Hall of Fame credentials. Boy, that knuckle, you could just see it just dead in flight and sitting right there for Pujols to club it.
Yeah, when it's high, you let it fly. That's always the phrase when you find that knuckleballer. But
and if it's low,
let it go.
Really, did you say that when you faced a knuckleballer? Was that in the back of your mind?
High, let it fly. Tom Candiotti, Tim Wakefield.
You know, Tom Candiotti told me the ideal knuckleball when he would throw one, it would have 1.5 revolutions out of hand to glove.
And he didn't know where it was going.
He did. He just
aimed for the middle and hope it doesn't stay there.
The mask, catcher's mask. That's exactly where he aimed it.
Well, he also had a good curveball to go along with that.
And he'd stick a little piece of cheese by it too once in a while.
That was the frustrating thing. When you faced knuckleballers, when they threw that fastball, it just, you just froze. I mean, you're waiting for that butterfly. Not a good feeling.
And R.A. Dickey, he has a little
his
fastball,
is harder.
pretty good fastball.
Yeah. You're looking for the butterfly and you get the hummingbird?
I don't like the hummingbird.
No.
1-1 to Tim Hudson, leading off the Giants' fifth with Pagan and Panic to follow. Chop to the right side. Jerko there for the first down. Pagan hit the ball hard twice. A shot to short that Amarista made a fine play in the first inning, and then he singled up the middle in the third. If you're just joining us, the Padres lead 2-1 on Matt Kemp's 10th home run of the season with Amarista aboard in the third. Giants run on a home run, a solo shot by Gregor Blanco. Fastball strike.
Well, it's no secret, guys, that this part of the year, a lot of scouts in the stands, watching every pitch, watching every play, every at-bat, marking down every little thing that they see.
11 days from the trade deadline. Kind of interesting to be in the room with your ear against the wall and listen to some of those telephone conversations going on around the major leagues.
I worked with the Dodgers and it was in some of those meetings. They're very interesting because they go with their scouts. They talk about some guys that fit both offensively, defensively.
That's a strike 3 to Pagan. He couldn't check his swing. 5 strikeouts for Kennedy.
Mark Sweeney, that's his breaking ball you were talking about. Throwing it early for a strike, and he most definitely goes. If he hits it, it's a double. And he was doing some chirping right there with Greg Gibson, the third base umpire on the appeal. I agree with the umpire on that one.
Yeah, he definitely went on that, but you don't want to start talking and chirping to Greg Gibson right there.
Crew chief Joe Panic has hit the ball in the air twice to left field and to shortstop and takes strike 1.
Mark Sweeney, what do you like about Joe Panic?
Well, he just plays the game right. I think, you know, you obviously you see the average, the all-star. This is a young man that bench coach Ron Wotus for the Giants said last year, we don't know where we're getting. You know, moving into September, they didn't know what they had, and then obviously probably one of the best double plays you'll ever see at the biggest moment on the main stage in the World Series.
I think history 10, 20 years from now look back on that play as maybe the best defensive play. Now you had the Willie Mays catch. There's a lot of great individual catches, but to make that stop at that time in the game and make the flip and get the double play when you knew whoever scored first was going to go on and win that World Series game.
Good call.
Huge. He's got a lot of moxie and a lot of calm, this young guy. From the start, he wasn't overwhelmed by being a major leaguer.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Dick. And he's not overwhelmed. He has a calmness to him, and also that grit. You want these type of guys in big situations, and still he has a lot to learn in the game, and that's a good thing.
Line drive, base hit. He can hit. Attested to by that .315 average coming in.
That's a nice little short stroke going the opposite way, hitting that ball well. And I talked to Bruce Bochy when Joe Panik first came up, and the words out of his mouth were, you know what, he doesn't do anything flashy, but it goes back to what you said, Mark Sweeney. He does everything right. As this ball to the left of Amarista, can't get to it. Ball hit well. Not that close. Good piece of hitting by Joe Panik.
And that brings up Matt Duffy, another youngster out of the Giants farm system who has produced this year. Coming into .299 and 8 home runs. He struck out in line to right.
By the way, Derek Norris has taken a couple of foul balls off the grill big time. I mean, he's gotten beaten up. That last at bat with Panik up there.
With 2 outs in a 1-run game, Panik has a good lead and a swing and a miss on the slider. Duffy, like Panik, just 24 years of age. Born and still lives in Long Beach. Right, with the breaking ball.
Nice yacker right there.
Yeah, he's starting to get a feel for that breaking ball, which I think is really important. We talked about it, Mark, but that feel out of the hands, and you can see the hitters will indicate the type of stuff you have. And now that curveball is starting to come into play and creeping into the Giants' minds.
Duffy playing his college ball at Cal State Long Beach, and there's another shot up the middle. So they're the middle infielders, Panik and Duffy, 24 years young. 2-out singles, and that sets the table for Buster Posey.
You know, guys, that one had a tendency to just roll up there. It didn't really have that bite to it. This one kind of just rolled up there, and Matt Duffy stayed on it. Out of the hand, 12-6 rotation. He's got contact, right? It's outer half, but it just has that roll to it. If it has more bite to it, it's probably a different story.
You're exactly right. Duffy gets an elevated curveball that's a lot easier for you just to flick your wrist, maybe flick that bat head out and serve it into center field.
Now the challenge to face the toughest hitter in the lineup with 2 men on, trying to protect a 1-run lead. We mentioned earlier, you don't want men in scoring position with Posey at the plate. This year, he's 15 for 26, a .577 average. Runners in scoring position, and he's also collected his share of hits against Kennedy, 16 total. Hitting .400 in his career against Kennedy. He's grounded twice to Amarista tonight. So 2 on, 2 out, a 2-1 Padre lead here in the 5th. Way off the plate.
Buster stretching a hammy a little bit right there out of the box.
But Posey, one with his power, he goes to right field so effectively. Perfect pitch. 1-1.
Corner command, that's nice.
It's really nice. Down and away. Probably looking for off speed again to Buster Posey.
Let's see a changeup here.
Right field into the corner. Kemp a long run, and he can't get there. Gallant effort. It's a foul ball. Had it been fair, Kemp was in position to make the catch.
Well, if you look at Matt Kemp in that breakaway, he puts his head down to try to gain some ground and then trying to pick the ball up again. Nice effort by Matt Kemp. He knows the importance in the part of the game that you have to give it your all, and he put his head down to just try to gain a little more ground.
Yeah, he wants to take the bat out of Buster Posey's hand and end the inning, and that warning track will take a lot out of you when you bite it like that.
He left a little skin out there. Oh, just missed. He's stretching again. It's his back or his hamstring.
Well, Derek Norris tries to bring this one back, but according to Fox Tracks, it was in fact off the plate a little bit.
2 outs, 2 on, 2-2 to Posey. Go out and make sure.
You know they cover their mouths with the gloves. Seriously, you know when that started? I heard a story, playoffs, Cubs, Giants, Wrigley Field. Will Clark was at the plate. I forgot who was catching for the Cubs, maybe Damon Berryhill or something.
Mitch Williams?
Maddox was pitching.
Okay.
Will Clark at the plate, and he read first pitch fastball, and Will was all over, hit a home run. And from that point on, that story got out, and that's when guys started covering their mouths with the gloves. Whether it's a wives' tale, whether it's but I hear that that's a true story.
And I heard it's HD too.
2-2, line to left field, surprise. Here comes Panic to score, and we have a 2-2 tie. Posey delivers again. All with 2 outs. Panic, Duffy, and Posey back-to-back singles.
What impresses you the most is the fastball in, and he pulls his hands inside and keeps this fair. We take a look at our Phantom Cam, head on the baseball and pulling his hands inside to get the barrel to the baseball. And a true shot to left field.
And Mark, after Kennedy trying to go away, that's quite an adjustment by Buster Posey to tie it up.
So the kids, Panic and Duffy, set the table, and Posey sticks his fork into it and takes a big bite. And here's Hunter Pence. It could get any easier.
And he's aggressive with the first pitch.
Bounces in. Fly ball to right center and safe on Namrista's error the last time. Ball was hit hard. They'll end up a right at Alexi.
2 contrasting styles of Hunter Pence and Buster Posey. But pure middle of the order bats.
That's a strike. Another ball low in the dirt, 2-1.
You know, Hunter Pence will chase, but those pitches right there just aren't close enough to try to have him enticed to swing. You can recognize those well out of the zone and just spit on him and work the count in his favor.
Duffy at second, Posey at first. All with 2 outs. At the knees for a strike. Humid night, you can see the perspiration on the forearms of both pitchers. Don't often see that here in San Diego.
Fastball up and out of the zone, possibly.
Last foul.
Just not up enough.
So the inning began. Hudson, the pitcher, grounded out, and Pagan struck out. And Panic a single to left. Duffy a ground single up the middle. And Posey ripped one to left to tie it up. That is slice foul into the crowd.
Derek Norris going out to have another chat with Ian Kennedy, trying to get on the same page. Looked like Hunter Pence was starting to time up that fastball right there.
Since the last couple of fastballs been up, away, I like to maybe pound one in here. Fastball, 4-seamer in. Or a pitch with the illusion of a fastball, maybe a changeup. But the big key here is you don't have to throw him a strike.
Well, this is the beauty of the game. It really is a two-man game, pitcher versus batter. How do I fool the hitter? The hitter trying to get one that he can do some damage. Who wins the battle? 2-2 the count. Another foul.
Fastball up and away. Late setup from Derek Norris. Set up inside and then hopped away. And Mark, you've ran the bases. Sometimes runners will give location.
It's easy to give location. There's certain signs that you use. Obviously, you have to keep them out of where you're not giving it away too early, but that's the reason why Derek Norris was set up late in those situations.
It's not so much the pitch, right? It's the location that guys are looking for, right?
Duffy there at second. Whether or not he is giving Pence a sign for where Norris is setting up is only a guess. Boy, having trouble getting together, aren't they? Well, it's a key part in the game, a 2-2 tie. Giants have put together 3 singles to tie the game. And a tough hitter up there, Hunter Pence. Brandon Belt on deck. It's a good lineup, folks. Might surprise some of you that the Giants lead the National League in team hitting. That's in part due to the fact Panic's the 300 hitter. Duffy's right at 300. Posey, of course, 317. Pence just a couple of points from 300. Blanco's hitting 300. Ground ball to second base. Jerko is there, and the inning comes to an end. The Giants get a run on 3 hits and leave 2. We're at the halfway mark in this one. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, scheduled to hit third, Matt Kemp, who has a 2-run homer tonight. Trip brought to you by Northrop Grumman. Tonight's guest transported on the Fan Express from the Naval Hospital, Camp Pendleton. Great to have the men and women with us tonight at Petco Park. A good one. Another Giants Padres closely fought game. 2-2 tie. Top of the order, Solarte, Amarista, and Kemp for the Padres.
Table setters for the middle of the order. Third time around against Hudson now.
Solarte looped a single down the right field line. His first time up, grounded to short in the third. Padres with only 3 hits. Solarte a single, Alonso a double, and Kemp's 2-run homer. Panic out in shallow right field. Ground ball up the middle, and that's away from Panic for a base hit. Good hitting by Solarte. Hit him where they ain't. his second hit.
Well, you see the pitch to Solarte, and it's over the plate, but using the middle of the field by Solarte. And in our phantom cam, head right down on the ball. The vibration of the bat didn't square it up on the barrel, but nice effective hitting.
Still hits that ball extremely well, even though we got jammed a little bit. You bet.
So the tie-breaking run on board to lead off the fifth. Amarista up twice, walked twice, and scored a run in front of Kemp's home run the last time. Ball one, and Hudson having trouble throwing strikes to Amarista. In 10 pitches to Amarista, he's thrown only one strike.
Yeah, not a bad time for a hit and run, too. It's 2-2 ball game. You know you got a wavering Tim Hudson on the mound. Alexi Amarista sees him very well.
Yeah, and generally speaking, not tonight the best control, but he is a strike thrower. So this situation, this pitch, maybe the first 2 or 3 pitches, you bet.
Giants bullpen is busy. That's a strike, 1-1. Glenn Hoffman trying to throw out a signal for a base hit here. See if something's in the works. Duffy, the third baseman, in tight on the grass. Line drive, base hit, right center. Solarte will make it to third. Cutting it off is Pagan in the gap. A long single for Amarista. And the Padres have them at the corners with no one out in the fifth. And the table, just as it was set for Buster Posey in the top half of the inning. And he tied it with a single. Matt Kemp with a home run his last time. He'll try to break the tie.
Well, Dick, you saw in the Fox vision looking out over the plate, Matt Kemp doing damage in the middle of the diamond. This is when he gets hot, guys. And you see the barrel on it, and our Phantom losing the lower half. And I think that's important. You see in length with the barrel of the bat through it, but to gain that, you have to use your lower half, and it's working so well. You take a look at the Phantom cam again. This is the important part of Matt Kemp, his base. He's sitting down on his legs a little bit, but he's using his legs to gain that barrel through the baseball in that hitting zone, straight through, and it is picture perfect for Matt Kemp. And I always say it, guys, because I've been around him a long time. When he is powering the baseball to center field, he's going to have magic happen.
You saw briefly Yusmeiro Petit, the big right-hander, throwing in the Giants bullpen. Dave Righetti making a trip to the mound to talk to Hudson, going over how they want to pitch to Kemp. Panic is not swung all the way to the left side. He's directly behind second base, but a huge hole on the right side, inviting Kemp to go that way. First pitch strike right on the corner with a breaking ball.
That's a perfect pitcher's pitch. You give it to him there because in your situation, you're looking for a mistake that you can elevate into the outfield.
Yeah, there's not much Matt Kemp could have done with that pitch. As you mentioned, a pitcher's pitch.
Kemp, the club leader now with 52 runs batted in. One and one.
Fastball's only been, what, 87, 88? Tim Hudson, sure he's trying to create a little bit of movement as Jed Jerker waits on deck. But if he's going to start peppering away, that ball just leaks a little bit. Two-seam away from Matt Kemp. He can drive it the opposite way. We saw that earlier in the game. His second at-bat in the third inning. A two-run shot.
No one out. Runners at first and third. And he lays off the breaking ball. Almost went for it. 2-1 to Kemp.
Well, that's a good take by Matt Kemp. We've seen him when he gets exposed and the timing's not right. He will get out of the strike zone, but when he stays in it, it's going to be a scary situation for a lot of opposing pitchers.
Three and one. So Hudson working delicately to Kemp with Jed Jerko on deck. The Does he give him something to hit here? Base open, second base.
Yep. Best pitch of the at-bat was pitch number 1. He's only seen one fastball this at-bat. He's throwing some chum out there on that outside part of the plate, hoping that Kemp's going to bite, but he's not biting.
Way outside. That was almost a pitch around. Bases are loaded.
Well, with Matt Kemp, his third at-bat, the fly ball to center field and the 2-run shot the opposite way, Tim Hudson's going to be very, very careful. First pitch slider. Now it's a fastball. Now the rest breaking stuff. And Dick, as you mentioned, it almost is it's a pitch around because there is a base open, that being second base. And with that said, Bruce Bochy out to the mound.
So Tim Hudson returns from the disabled list and goes 4 innings plus. Pitching change at Petco. Here in the 5th inning of a 2-2 tie, and our pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Yusmero Petit, 1-1 with a high ERA, 4.38, and he throws the home run ball in 49 innings, 9 home runs.
He had last 5 relief appearances for the right-hander Petit. ERA almost 8. Fastball, curveball. He throws a little cut slider, also a changeup. Only about 84 to 90 on that fastball. So, hey. Big opportunity for Jed Jerko and the Padres right here.
The Giants infield will play back. They'll trade a run for a double play. Jerko has struck out and grounded to short.
Straight up the gut in center field is Angel Pagan. Let's see if he starts him off with a breaking ball away here.
Did not go.
It was, in fact, a breaking ball away. And there you see the last 3 from the right-hander, Petit.
Great shot. Ooh, he might have gone. Bases full of Padres. No one out. 2-0. Solarte with a single at third. Amarista with a base hit at second. Kemp walking to load him up. Figure you got to throw him a strike here. He hadn't been close in the first 2. He chopped it foul.
Yeah, that's the pull swing we saw with Jed Jerko at the beginning of the year. And that's not a good sign, especially in this situation. Big part of the field, right center, and you've seen it from Jed Jerko when he's had some good swings the second half.
And especially that particular pitch, Mark, up and away, really not the hot zone 2-0 that Jed Jerko wants to maybe swing at.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, from a pitcher standpoint,
agreed.
I'm thinking, hey, thanks for swinging at that.
Big hole in right center.
And that's when Jed's swinging the bat well, that's what he does as well. Right center.
3-1. Now Petit forced to throw a strike or give the Padres a bases loaded run. Alonso next. Jerko can be selective. Hope to get something sweet here and give it a run. Right down the middle. Fouled back. Now Petit and the Giants as Murphy and Roberts there in discussion.
Hey, see the longer swing by Jed Jerko. Right down the middle and the barrel just below the baseball.
Full count. Giants thinking strikeout and then maybe a double play. Ooh, another pitch, same spot. Almost daring Jerko to hit it. Doesn't want to walk him. Another pitcher versus batter, batter versus pitcher confrontation. Runners ready to go from all three bases. Fly ball to left, not very deep. Here comes Blanco. Should be able to score the run. Makes the catch. Here comes Solarte. The throw not cut off, and he slides in with a run, and the Padres take the lead. Good throw by Blanco. Jerko with the RBI, his 17th of the year.
Well, the bases are loaded. All the pressure is on Yusmeiro Petit. Trying to keep the ball away. And generally speaking, for the times I've seen Petit, he likes to keep the ball away. There's a mistake, outer half. Jed just works under. Another one. But the sac fly will do just fine. Buster Posey giving him a path, giving him a lane, and scoring on the headfirst slide to take the lead.
Alonso doubled his last time, walked the first. 2 on, first and second now with 1 out. Neither able to advance as third baseman Duffy did a good job of being in position where the runners had to respect the cutoff, let the ball go through, and it was fairly close, but Solarte nosediving in for the run, and it's 3-2. Way upstairs. Well, the Giants took the lead in the third on a solo home run by Blanco, and the Padres answered in the bottom of the third. A walk to Amarista and Kemp's 2-run homer, his 10th of the year. Giants tie it, 3 straight singles. Posey with the RBI base hit here in the 5th, and the Padres have come back. Singles by Solarte, Amarista, walk to Kemp, and Jerko sacrifice fly.
Yeah, another good take. Saw it by Matt Kemp, staying in the strike zone. And again, Yonder Alonso, in this situation, if you're going to drive runs in, doubles machine, he has to get back to that thought process.
And it was a double to right center his last time. Three and 0. Petit went 3-1 to Jerko and threw a couple of fastballs right down the heart of the plate, and eventually on what would have been ball 4, Jerko on a high fastball able to get the run home on the sacrifice fly.
Bruce Bochy won that last pitch, called a strike, clearly off the plate.
And that is a strike. High inside corner. 3-1. Amarista at second, Kemp at first. drive, base hit to right field. And Marista had to hold, so he'll not score as Pence hustles the ball in. And Marista had to make sure that that line drive wasn't caught. So Alonso, 2 hits and a walk tonight.
Hey, a couple of good battles going on here. Jed Jerko with the sac fly to get a run home. And Alonso now hitting against Petit. Got squeezed on that one, so now he's working the hitter's count, right? 3-1. Outside pitch. Maybe he was looking for that pitch, Mark, because that was away, and he pulled it through that hole on that right side.
I don't mind him pulling it on line. Sometimes you see Yonder Alonso get a little too big in those situations. That's what he has to do if he's going to drive a lot of runs in.
Will a hitter cheat because he's been going away, and if he gets that pitch, hey, the result is what we just saw. If it's in, hey, you have to adjust.
Well, that's when they talk about plate coverage.
Norris fouls it back. Bases loaded, 1 out. Chance to bolster the lead, 3-2. Norris has grounded out and popped up. Derek, who started brilliantly April and into May with a bat, and slowly that average dipping down and down, almost the duties of being a catcher wearing him down through the course of this long season. And 0-2.
Well, the one thing I've noticed tonight is Tim Hudson against a lot of sliders down and away, and Petit in the bullpen. Sure, he's watching. And what do you know? There's a slider. Front side open up a little bit.
Well, this is the thing. I think Derek Norris is thinking too much in the batter's box. You tend to get into those modes when you're going through that swing and miss phase, which we all go through. He's got to trust his process, especially in this situation.
1-2. Will Venable on deck. Camarista at third, Kemp at second, Alonso at first. A run home here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Padres have reclaimed the lead at 3-2, but a chance to do some serious damage with the bases loaded, 1 out. Strike 3. Oh goodness, that ball off the plate. Clint Fagan, who's been had a tight strike zone, but gives Petit a pitch there.
Oh, it's so tough for Derek Norris to bite his lip, to not say anything. Why? Because, you know, he's going to want that pitch for his pitching staff. It looked like Fox Tracks had it off the plate. Well, he wants to say something, but you know what, though? He realized he's got to go back behind home plate and hopefully get those calls from his pitchers.
Well, Posey, with all of his strength, one of the very best in framing pitches. So the bases loaded, 2 outs now for Venable. Ball 1. Venable is struck out and grounded to third. Crawford is swung over near second base, and Duffy well off the line now at third. That's exactly where Venable hit it the last time, where Duffy's standing there halfway toward second base. Strike, 1-1. Padres had the bases loaded in the first inning, failed to score. We've had them loaded up twice tonight in this inning. Scored once, and a chance for more here. 1-1 to Venable.
You know, Mark, I noticed Petit goes from the extreme first base side of the rubber. As a left-handed hitter, did that affect you one way or the other?
You know what? You don't worry about it because you're so concentrating on that release point of Petit.
Foul ball at the plate.
Now, more of it would be left on that first base side because of that release of the left arm. But the righty really doesn't matter when it comes down to it. You're just trying to concentrate on the situation and trust that scouting report. Look out over the plate and react in.
Fastball up and in. He wants it.
Well high, 2-2. Well, Petit came into a pressure situation, didn't he? Bases loaded, no one out. Bases loaded again, 2-2. 2 outs. Up the middle, it hits Petit, but look who's right there, Crawford, to throw him out. Crawford adjusting to the carom off Petit, and the Giants come out of it with only 1 run scoring and the bases left loaded. 3-2 Padres. Blanco, a solo home run for the Giants in the third, 1-0 San Francisco. But in the bottom of the third, a walk to Amarista, and Kemp drilled one to deep right center, 409 feet, and the Padres led 2-1. Giants came back to tie it in the 5th inning. Singles, Panic, and Duffy, and then Posey a line drive to left to tie the game at 2-2. Bottom of the 5th, bases loaded, and Jed Jerko lifts a fly ball to left deep enough. Blanco's throw not in time to get Jan Solarte at the plate. And the Padres lead 3-2 as we move on to the 6th inning. Kevin Quackenbush begins throwing in the Padre bullpen. Kennedy is throwing 82 pitches. And we'll face Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, and Gregor Blanco here in the 6th. Belt, a bunt single against the shift, and a walk. Whoa, up and in.
Quackenbush warming up in the Padres bullpen.
That's a strike, 1-1. So the line on Tim Hudson, 4 innings plus, 3 runs, all earned, 5 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts.
Long rest for Ian Kennedy that last half inning. See if it affects him at all. Needs a quick one here. Get a solid 6. Send it into the 7th. After the Padres hit their bottom half of the 6th with the lead.
3-1 now to Belt with a shift on. Kennedy has walked 1 and struck out 5. Foul tip. Fastball at 91.
He's a Brandon Belt fan.
High pop up. Solarte. Wow, that was way up there. That brought stars down with it. All right, in the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. Ian Kennedy, 5 1/3, a couple of earned runs, 6 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. That was a major league pop-up. Good thing we don't have a dome on this stadium.
Only one really stressful inning for Ian Kennedy. That was that 5th inning. On the bottom of the order here. Hopefully he can get through this quickly.
Crawford fouls it back. He has struck out and popped up. Gregor Blanco to follow. Another foul.
Oh, you've seen Ian Kennedy be aggressive with the fastball. Brandon Belt reached back and he felt that fastball really getting behind it this inning.
Now, if he's having trouble, Brandon Crawford, that is, trying to square up a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Imagine what Ian Kennedy can do with a fastball on the inner part of the plate. Like here. If he can't catch up to it here, move it in on him a little bit or go up and out of the zone like he did there.
Sliced into the left field corner. Venable watches it sail up into the crowd. That had pretty good distance. Padre fan comes up with a souvenir and hands it off to the youngster. Bounce a breaking ball here.
I like that. Even go with the changeup away.
Yeah, just don't throw it in the zone to speed up his bat.
Went inside with a slider. Or a cutter. It certainly had a big ride to it. 1-2.
87 on that little cutter slider, but I like that pitch. Takes him off of that fastball.
That hit him.
Yep.
Yes, it did on the shin guard. So Kennedy on a 1-2 pitch puts Crawford on a hit by a pitch. Crowd's in here.
Looks like a little cutter again, a little type of short breaking ball.
That brings up Blanco. A short home run to right field off the top of the right field wall, 371 feet, his 3rd of the year. And he struck out the last time. Hitting .305 coming in. Changeup misses. The difference in hitting in these two teams is dramatic. The Giants hitting a National League best, 272. The Padres, 237. Padres leading hitter is Alonso at 283. The Giants have 5 players in the lineup with a better average than Alonso. So that'll make a manager smile knowing he's got bats that can produce. Crawford at first. Hit by a pitch, and now Kennedy falls behind 2-0 to Blanco.
You know, Blanco's tough to double up. He's only grounded into 1 double play this year, but that's a category the Giants lead in. The lower half, 3rd most as a team grounding into double plays. A nice one hopper maybe somewhere. I think that's the only way you're going to probably try to double up Blanco.
Oh, former starter Ryan Vogelsong tuning up. Actually, they've got Tim Lincecum and Vogelsong, both starters beginning of the year with Kane and Peavy out, adding depth to the bullpen. The throw to second, shortstop gets 1, and back to first. That's a double play, or they're going to call it a foul ball. There's going to be a debate here between Home plate umpire Fagan and Craig Gibson, the third base umpire, as to whether that was a fair ball. Good action by Norris to go through with it.
Absolutely. Play it through, let the umpires sort it out. Now, as we take, okay, the ball bounces behind home plate, but that's not important. It's where the ball is touched. Where does Derek Norris?
No, we don't see it.
Don't see it. Let's see.
This angle will show it. All right, you see home plate, ball behind home plate, still behind. Oh, the bat hits the ball. Was the ball on home plate when Norris came up with it?
Really tough to tell.
Well, guys, what was interesting watching that replay, it looked like Blanco his left foot was out of the batter's box.
Yeah, they never call that. You're absolutely right. They never call that. And I wish more umpires would bang guys on that.
Yeah.
And I think from the vantage point of Greg Gibson down the third base line where Derek Norris touched it, in his estimation, it was on that foul side of the foul line, being the third base line.
So 2-2. One out. Crawford at first. 3-2 Padres lead here in the sixth. Quite a battle here. Kennedy and Blanco. And the count full. Pitcher spot is due next.
Yeah, they've got a pinch hitter on deck. Ahiri Adrianza.
Thank you, Harry. See if anything's in the works. Crawford from first base. 3-2. He goes. Swing and a miss. Throw by Derek Norris, and it is a double play. Strike him out. Throw him out. And so it goes in the sixth for the Giants as Norris guns down another caught stealing and continues to lead the National League. Is this Vogel song? 3-2 Padres. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and you've just seen it. Strikeout, throw him out. Changeup gets the hitter Blanco, and Derek Norris throws out his 25th runner on the season.
I'll tell you what, guys, with the 3-2 lead as the Padres go into the bottom of the sixth, this is a real pick-me-up for this emotional side of the Padres. trying to get to Petit. He's out there again, but a perfectly thrown strike. We talk about pitchers throwing strikes. How about that strike from number 3, Derek Norris? Oh, yeah.
Padres here in the bottom of the 6th. Melvin Upton. That's a strong bunt. Upton between Belt and Paddock might have gone into right field for a base hit. He has grounded out to short and struck out tonight. With the pitcher spot to follow, Kennedy, and it would appear 100 pitches in the game. Kennedy will exit with the lead. 2 runs and 6 hits, 6 strikeouts. And then Mauer getting ready in the Padres bullpen. Petit into his 2nd inning. Did a good job. Came in with the bases loaded, no one out, gave up the sacrifice fly and a single to load him up again, but then struck out Norris and got Venable into a Karam 1-6-3 putout.
Here comes a breaking ball.
2-1.
Guys, these games are very emotional, and you have to ride that momentum, especially that strike him out, throw him out. Offensively, this Padre team needs to bounce back and score some more runs for Ian Kennedy.
Lifted off third into foul territory. Duffy takes a look, but it's out of play. Wow, that's hot potato, and a Giants fan finally stabs him. Two balls, 2 strikes to Upton. Again, if you're just joining us, Justin Upton, younger brother, not in the lineup, nursing that oblique, left oblique. Good cut.
There was a fastball to hit.
Outfield very deep in all 3 positions for Upton. Almost doubles defense.
Pretty straight away for the Gigantes.
High breaking ball, 3-2. Kennedy's in the on deck circle. If Upton could get on, and he does, the ball into right center field. Let's see with his speed if he goes for 2. Yes, he will now, as the ball goes all the way to the ball, and Upton's going to go for 3. Here's the throw. He is in there. So Pagan, in his effort to make that a long single, played it into a longer triple. And the Padres leadoff man's on third.
Well, how about Melvin Upton? You see the swing on our phantom cam, backing that ball up, and that produces that shot to right center. Pagan dives after this because he knows it's past him. He took the wrong angle. And then Melvin Upton Jr. gets on his horse. And you can see he just cruises into third base with a leadoff triple. That's what you need, that building on the momentum of the play the previous half.
That'll bring up Will Middlebrooks to hit for Kennedy. Infield will draw in tight hitter's delight for Middlebrooks to try to add on this 3-2 Padre lead.
Oh, nice swing by Will Middlebrooks.
Yeah, as a pinch hitter, Mark, that's a good point. As Ian Kennedy sits on the bench and pitched great tonight as far as 100 pitch effort, keeping him in the game, only giving up 2 runs with the lead.
Finally got some runs to work with.
Exactly. But look, hunting that first pitch fastball off the bench, you got to be all over that, right?
Yeah, you got to be all over, especially that fastball away.
Outside edge, 0-2 to Middlebrooks, who's hitting just .213, 9 homers. No one out. Top of the order to follow. Duffy at third, Crawford the shortstop, the right side, Panic and Belt playing halfway. I love that shot. Middlebrooks trying to solve Petit here with no one out, and Melvin Upton at third with a leadoff triple.
Play a little game of pepper here.
Got him on a slider. That's the second strikeout for relief pitcher Petit. One out, and Solarte the batter. And our game is presented tonight in HD by Sony 4K. Solarte, a couple of hits in 3 at-bats, and he scored a run. See if he chokes up. Yeah, giving up a little on the. You like to see that. Just a good solid shot over or through the infield will get the job done, and it's exactly what he produces. A ground ball under the glove of Panic, and the Padres add on. It is 4-2. Third hit of the night for Yan Solarte.
Well, great approach by Yan Solarte. The last time against Hudson, 2 changeups early in the count. He's still hunting the fastball. Gets that fastball early in the count. You can see him driving up the middle of the field.
Here's a case where the hitters taking advantage of the infielders playing in, and Panic couldn't dive and stop it.
Nice level swing, also staying on that baseball. I love the ground ball to the center fielder.
That brings up Amarista with 1 out. Padres with a big insurance run. 4-2, and that, of course, goes on Kennedy's card as Ian looks for his 5th win of the year. Maurer begins throwing again.
Hey, big key for the Padres. We know this. The 7th, 8th inning guys, Maurer, Benoit, handed over to Kimbrel. The blueprint looks pretty good right now with the 4-2 lead. Ian got him into the 7th. Solid 6.
So the 1-2 hitters in the lineup tonight for the Padres have done a terrific job of setting the table. Solarte 3 for 4, and Amarista has been on base all 3 times with 2 walks and a single.
That puts so much pressure on the defense, especially the way Matt Kemp is swinging the bat. There's 1-2 punch at the top of the order. They're just trying to find that formula.
Runner goes, and it's popped up. They tried to deke Solarte, and the ball shallow left. Blanco comes in, and Solarte hustles back to first base. Hit and run, and Amarista pops it up to shallow left field. 2 outs to Matt Kemp. Flied out, 2-run homer, and walk. Four runs, 8 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 6 hits for the visitors from the Bay. Over but low. Our San Diego fans of the game. Look at those smiles. Wear that uniform proudly. That's San Diego on the front of the jersey. Dad's well attired as well.
You can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Low again, 2-0.
You know, guys, in this situation, this is when you miss a Justin Upton behind a Matt Kemp that is going well. And you've seen the last couple of bats, the Giants pitchers really have stayed away from Matt Kemp.
Yeah. Only 1 fastball last at bat. Every rest were sliders. Remember during that walk? That was back in the 5th inning.
Again, low strike, 2-1.
You know, the good thing for Matt Kemp is now he's generating where he knows his strike zone. At times he's been exposed out of the strike zone. And he knows that ball was away.
Into right field for a base hit. Looping single. Hustling all the way is Solarte. And he's into third. And Kemp back to first. They get him on the cutoff and throwback. Now the Giants do a terrific job of cutting off that throw to third and nailing Kemp at first. Let's see if there'll be a challenge here. It was close there at first base. Kemp isn't leaving the bag. He thinks he's safe. Melvin Upton with that triple to right center positions him to score on the base hit by Solarte up the middle in the Padres lead 4-2. To the Kemp single. Hens firing toward third. Solarte headed that way, cut off by Crawford at shortstop, and that whip throw back to first. And Belt applying the tag, very close. Here's another look. And that would have been interesting on a review. Kemp with a pleading look, but gone.
And that's why it's so important for you to hit the cutoff man, correct? With that throw in from right field, Hunter Pence.
Those are the little things that pay out. Earlier they had that play at the plate when the Padres scored their third run, and then the cutoff man was in perfect position so that the other runners couldn't advance and let the ball go through. Brandon Maurer making his 45th appearance.
Well, putting together a really, really great year out of the bullpen. The slider is biting. He's got the good fastball location. You saw the numbers on the splits.
The pinch hitter is Ari Adrianza. One and two. So Petita worked a couple of innings, gave up 1 run, 3 hits. Swing, miss, and Maurer makes short work of the pinch hitter Adrianza.
Going right after him, being aggressive. Well, Ian Kennedy put together a good night.
He did indeed.
6 solid innings. You know, at times there, he only walked 1 hitter. Went with the fastball up and out of the zone, and he continues to throw up good numbers against these San Francisco Giants. Only 1 walk, punched out 6 in 6 frames.
Well, in his last 4 starts, the Padres have given him a grand total of 1 run. They give him 4 tonight. That's like an avalanche for Ian. Angel Pagan, hard out to short, a single and a strikeout. Panic to follow. 2-0. Lays it in there. 2-1. Terrific Monday night turnout. 35,033. Boosted without question with thousands of Giants fans. Hey, they pay the full price too. Foul back.
And Dick, you made the good point earlier. Is to take a look at the Giants box score. Keep the Giants quiet, so you keep the Giants fans quiet.
Absolutely. This is the Padres park.
Another Brandon Belt fan.
.96 on the fastball, and the count is full. See all the pitchers working up a lather tonight. Got him. Wicked. Boy, movement on Mauer. Strikes out Adrianza and Pagan.
Hey, good luck if you're a left-handed hitter and you have to try to square up that slider. Even though he misses, he wanted the back door that one. He misses down and in. Swing and a miss.
Let's go back to the keys to the game. Mark Grant, brought to you by our San Diego Honda dealers.
All right, well, make Pence the hunted. Well, he's wearing the collar. 0 for 3 tonight for the Giant right field, and repeat SF performance back in May. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, only 1 walk, and 6 punched tickets.
Working on A grade tonight, huh?
Yeah.
95 on the fastball to Panic. Misses. He singled and scored the last time with 2 outs. He singled, then Duffy followed with a base hit, and Posey tied it up with a single. As you saw in the summary, 6 hits scattered through the Giants lineup. No one with more than 1.
Oh, did I just see a changeup out of the hand of Mauer at 86 of the equalizer? Let's check it out. Oh, yeah, it's got the split type grip, almost Ian Kennedy type grip.
Base hit again for Panic. He is something, this kid. Upton gets it in. Second hit for Panic. And that'll bring up Matt Duffy, and we go down to Chris Budden. Chris.
Well, Chris will take at the end of the bat. A lot of the guys will have their initials or numbers to let them know whose bat is which. Well, Matt Duffy wears a cartoon on his Duff Man, which is a nod to a Simpsons character, the Duff Man.
Yeah, I like that. Well, it shows a little personality as well.
He singled up the middle the last time. It's also lined out. He was a long shot pick by the Giants. So 500 players before him had been drafted. Here at 24, he's in the big leagues and hitting 300.
Who's that? Homer Simpson?
No.
Duffman. Duffman. Okay, I got you.
No, Homer, he just couldn't hit the curveball.
No, the breaking ball got him every time.
Skeeter, 35 pounds, man. That's a mountain lion.
That's a fat cat.
One and one.
Oh, good pitch.
1-2 to Duffy. Buster Posey lurks on deck. You want to get out of this inning with Posey having to wait to lead off the next. Don't want him up there with a couple of men on. .97 on that fastball. Padres with a 4-2 lead here in the 7th.
Oof. That is always a tough pitch to lay off. A biting slider at 89. And I remember, Tim Hudson's fastball was at 88 tonight. Brandon Mauer's throwing sliders at 89.
Pitching from the moon.
Yeah.
Ground ball, Amarista. Quick flip, and the inning is over. Stretch half of the 7th at Petco. 4-2 for the home side. Brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com and see how much you could save. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. And another game break here on Fox Sports San Diego as we go back to Anaheim Stadium, Angels Stadium. Pujols a home run earlier, and Albert Pujols has done it again. 2 home runs tonight for the Angels slugger, and he has passed Mike Schmidt. And now with 549 home runs, 15th all time. And certainly Manny Ramirez and Reggie Jackson's numbers within reach of Pujols this year. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Ryan Vogelsong on to work for the Giants. Will face Jerko, Alonso, and Norris with the Padres in front, 4-2. His 4th game in relief, Vogelsong. .89 on his first fastball.
Yeah, he can get a little wild at times, so hopefully the Padres can be patient as Joaquin Benoit warms up for the 8th. Padres hopefully tack on some insurance here.
That's a strike. Vogelsong, 7-6 record. ERA up there, 4.15, and he's coughed up 14 home run balls. Two and one. Jerko has struck out, grounded out, and knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly that broke the 2-2 tie back in the 5th inning. That'll sail out of play.
Well, it is a transition for a guy like Vogelsong. I mean, he's quite a story, bouncing back, making it back to the big leagues after spending some time overseas and bouncing back from the rotation. As you take a look at the Padres box score tonight, boy, really nice job at the top of the lineup. But Vogelsong, starter, reliever, starter. As a reliever, you want to get in and out of there as quickly as possible. So maybe he'll just narrow it down to a couple pitches rather than trying to set up hitters like a starter would.
Drive into the right field corner. Pence over, can't play it. It's off the wall. Caroms off, and Jerko will hustle into second base with a double to lead off the Padres 7th. Jed going the opposite field for the two-bagger.
And going to the opposite field nicely with that pitch up and away from Vogelsong. Look at how easy this pitch is hit to right field. Now on the left, the ball is up. It's away, outer half, right? And Jed stays on it, not in pull mode at all. He's got his head directly on that bat, the barrel of the bat, and the ball coming in and driving it to right field. Well, it makes it look so easy when you take the pitch where it is pitched.
So a chance for more insurance in this 5-2 lead for the Padres. Yonder Alonso 2 for 2 with a walk, a single and a double. Walked his first time up. Ball one. Padres now in double figures in the hit column, 4 runs and 10 hits.
Looks like a changeup right there from Vogelsong. Pitching behind in the count. Backwards, I should say, with the 1-0 count.
Vogelsong will celebrate his 38th birthday, final game of the series on Wednesday. Native of Charlotte, North Carolina. Grew up in Pennsylvania. One and two. Pride and joy of Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. A couple of big years for the Giants after he pitched in Japan for 2 seasons and came back in 2011. Ground ball to the first baseman. That'll move the runner over. Belt with the unassisted putout. And Jerko 90 feet away from adding to the 4-2 lead. And our closed captioning tonight brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Derek Norris 0 for 3 tonight. Chance to pick up his 46th RBI.
They're bringing him in a little bit, Bruce Bochy, about halfway. A little bit more than halfway. Cutting down the range. Hey, just hit the ball squarely where it's pitched, almost like Jed Jerko. I'll see if Vogelsong keeps the ball away from Derek Norris here.
How about a safety squeeze here? What do you think?
That's not a bad idea.
That ball hits Norris, just grazed his uniform. So he'll walk to first base. First and third to Venable. And Will Venable looking for his first hit over 3 tonight.
Oh, Phantom Cam. Where does it get Derek Norris? Does it get him right on the on the third button up?
That Phantom Cam, isn't that terrific?
Oh, it's remarkable. Fascinating.
It's like an X-ray machine. Venable struck out and grounded out twice. .92 on that fastball.
Padres need this run here. Or 2. Elevate something to the outfield even for Will Venable. Ooh, didn't have to be.
1-1.
I think we're going back to the days on the bench doing a little chirping. Thought that ball might have been off the plate a little bit.
1 out, runners at the corners. Jerko at third. Norris at first.
Change up.
That's too low and outside. Chases in the dirt. That would have been 3-1. Curveball.
Yep. Buried the curveball. Nice block by Buster Posey. He may have saved a run there.
So Venable with 2 strikes on him gives up on the bat handle a bit for more control.
I would have to think after that last pitch, Vogelsong would go back to it.
He does. Ground ball to first. Belt goes to second for 1. Back to first. A double play. Smartly turned. 3-6-3, and the Padres denied in the 7th.
Top of the 8th, Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you tonight by Cox Communications. Nice to see Matt Kemp heating up. 2-run shot in the 3rd, Mark.
We talked about it. This is the key of the game for me, and Matt Kemp starting to power the ball to center field, right center. We saw the pull power the other day, and now you're seeing that power, which is a huge benefit to the Padre offense.
Big deal for Matt Kemp to get hot, especially on a night like tonight when Justin Upton is not available with the mild injury. So hopefully this continues. You guys talked about it before, the recipe for success. Benoit in the ball game. You saw Mauer, and then it goes to Kimbrel time. So let's keep our fingers crossed this is the way it remains. When we see it tonight, after the final out, we'll break down everything that happened in the ball game. Also a big matchup in the National League East. We'll replay some of those Albert Pujols highlights for you if you missed those. A remarkable day for Pujols. We'll have that, and you're going to hear from the interim manager, Pat Murphy. All that and more coming up directly after the ball game. Dick Enberg and Mark Grant, guys.
All right, M&M. Joaquin Benoit here in the 8th to face Posey, Pence, and Belt with a 4-2 lead.
Really good numbers for Joaquin Benoit. He's the 8th inning guy.
Posey an RBI single in 3 at-bats. A couple of groundouts. Takes strike 1 at 92. .39 2/3 innings for Benoit. 37 strikeouts. He's walked 15, and he has given up 5 homers. Off the head of the bat, that swirls its way, and Benoit says, "I'll take this one myself." Oh, that thing cued up to the grass.
Hey, as promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to #SD Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Thank you, Casey.
That lucky guy with a couple of sisters, huh?
Have a little fun. Shoot your photo our way. And you just might be shown on a ball game.
Hunter Pence, 0 for 3, safe on an error. Wild wave at a breaking ball. He is a guest hitter. One hit in previous appearances against Benoit, 6 tries.
Hey, Dick, you know there's a lot of information given out these days.
Oh, tons.
And, you know, a big part of that, integral part of the Padres organization is Mike Tompkins. He's down in that video room, right, giving information. Well, tonight's his mom's birthday, 81 years young. Gypsy Tompkins. She's hoping for a Padre victory. Huge Padre fan.
Yeah, part of the birthday celebration.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Gypsy.
2 balls and a strike to Hunter Pence. Ground to center, safe on Emery's error, and grounded to second. It was a big out in the 5th inning. The Giants had scored to tie it. Had runners at first and second. Kennedy got him to ground to second. Change up 3-1.
That's a nasty changeup for Benoit. He's not afraid to throw it to lefties or righties alike. Anytime. Devastating pitch.
Manager at the helm. 1 out here in the 8th.
That's
3-2.
That's paint at 94. Little 2-seam movement.
Dodgers have lost tonight to Atlanta 7-5. So a big game for both these teams to get a 1-game jump. Arizona beat Miami 3-1. Colorado won 8-7 over Texas. High fly ball center field. Melvin Upton circling over and then in. 2 away.
Hey, Saturday, it's an MLB doubleheader starting with the Athletics taking on the Giants. Then at 4 p.m. Pacific, Braves battle the NL Central leading Cardinals in a game you can see only on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Pacific, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Another fine doubleheader, and then, of course, 3rd game on Fox Sports San Diego is Miami will be in town to play the Padres. Brandon Belt, a bunt single, a walk, and a pop-up. First pitch changeup misses. We're in the collar against Benoit in their previous 4 tries. Back with a 94-mile-an-hour strike. Powered that one through the strike zone and through the swing of Belt. A look at the National University standings of the NL West at the moment, with the Dodgers losing. The lead shrinks. Padres currently 9 back. With a win, could move to 8.5. Jammed him. Well, this series is so very important in terms of the next 11 days and the future of these Padre players as to how many will still be here in San Diego, how many trades might be made. If the Padres win 3 and extend their streak to 7 in a row, that changes A.J. Preller's thought process. Padres lose 3 or lose 2 out of 3, then maybe it's a different matter. Right center field. Upton has to gallop a long way. Can he get there? Yes, he can. A 1-2-3 inning for Benoit. We go to the bottom of the 8th at Petco with the Padres in front, 4-2. Upton covering a lot of territory in center.
1460 Fox Sports San Diego.
Because if you don't have number 17 at quarterback, as you're trying to convince the NFL that you should be included in that move to L.A., you don't have 17, you don't have Jack.
I guess the backup quarterback's name isn't Jack, huh?
And don't you just love how Mike Costa contributed to that conversation? That was some of his best work.
Right. Going on for another Emmy. Melvin Upton tripled his last time and scored a very key insurance run to make it a 4-2 game. Brett Wallace has a bat in the on-deck circle, the pitcher's spot, and then Jan Solarte celebrating a 3-hit night tonight for Solarte.
There's another happy customer going home with a souvenir.
35,000 on a Monday night here at Petco. Ryan Vogelsong, starter the first half of the season, but with the healing of Matt Cain and Jake Peavy, has been relegated to the bullpen. Craig Kimbrell ready to go in the ninth inning for the Padres. Well, the rainout yesterday did one thing. It gave the bullpen another day's rest. Line drive, that's going to fall foul. Soft liner that almost stayed in play. The one that did stay in play is this shot to right center that Pagan couldn't cut off, and that allowed Upton to go for 3. He then scored on a single by Solarte.
That was such a pretty swing going the opposite way there. Pitch that was down. Not over swinging. We've seen a couple of those tonight, Dick. Maybe a few. Jerko's done it. Matt Kemp did it on the home run. Melvin Upton Jr.'s done it.
Well, after being on the injured list through spring training in the first month and a half, 2 months, Upton slowly working his stroke. Improving with each game. 2-2. Well, we hope you've made plans to join us for this series tomorrow night and a day game on Wednesday. If not, we'll be here tomorrow night at 6:30 on Fox Sports San Diego as Odrisamer Despaigne duels Chris Heston, this 9-5 rookie for the Giants. Taco Tuesday.
Oh, gotta love it.
Brought to you by Cholula. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets Upton. Well, some other Major League action of interest today. Chase Peterson, the former Padre, playing with the Atlanta Braves, 2 for 5, a double, and 3 runs driven in the win over the Dodgers. Jay Bruce, a lot of trade talk about him, 2 for 4, a double, and a homer. 15 dingers for Bruce, and the Reds win over the Cubs. And Pujols, 4 for 7 in the doubleheader, and 3 home runs to move into number 15 all time in home runs in the big leagues. Brett Wallace pinch hits. That's been his role since being called up from El Paso. He's 4 for 12 as a pinch hitter. Has 8 other at bats, 6 for 20 and a .300 average. Jan Solarte will follow. .92 on the fastball, and Vogelsong falls behind 3-0. Looking ahead to the ninth inning for the Giants, they have their bottom 3, Crawford, Blanco in the pitcher's spot. There's a strike, 3-1. Kimbrell, a warm, humid night here for San Diego conditions. He's ready. Just take his time and get everything tightened up.
Yep. He knows that he's got 8 when he goes out to that mound in between innings before starts the ninth.
Ground ball right to the overshift, and Crawford throws him out.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 outs, and Solarte enjoying a 3-for-4 night. Knocked in a run, scored a run, all 3 hit singles. Had a good rip at that one. So he's boosted his average 8 points up to 253 with a 3-for-4 night. This will be an easy play for Panic. Over to Belt. 1-2-3, the Padres story in the 8th, and Craig Kimbrell is answering the call. We'll see the fireballing right-hander go for another save when we return. It's 4-2, San Diego. Electric stuff, certainly, for Craig Kimbrell, who's shooting for his 26th save in 27 chances. If he's successful tonight, he will have saved the last 5 games, 5 wins in a row.
And that top line, Dick, saves / opportunities. Look at that, 25 of 26. Had the high ERA. Sure, he gave up some runs earlier in the year, but as the season goes on, it gets hotter. Craig Kimbrell gets hot as well.
Look at that. Since May 26, 0.93 ERA. Opponents hitting just 179. Crawford starts it for the Giants. He struck out, popped up, and hit by a pitch.
Release the Kimbrell.
Ground ball to second. Jerko, trouble with it, but throws him out. Oh, going for it backhand, and he had to handle the high hop. Made the play.
Two, three, hopper. Oh! Not an easy play, but remember, it's always easier for an infielder. He gets that on the heel of the glove. Always easier for an infielder to come up on a ball. That's why you start low, finish high, rather than starting high and going low. The bottom line is that's still a 4-3 play. And a big first out.
Blanco, since hitting the solo home run in the third, Kennedy has struck out both times. Ball 1, 97 on the fastball. Another chance for Jerko. And another 4-3 put out. Time for Cholula, flamethrower.
And with the right-hander Craig Kimbrell out on the mound, 97 hot sauce.
Whoa, boy, don't blow that my way.
And the Giants down to the last out. The Padres will shift. Looks like Hector Sanchez.
It is the backup catcher. High deep drive to center field, but Upton has a beat on it, and the Padres win. The first of 3 goes to the home side, and the Padres have their longest winning streak of the season, 5 in a row. And here's Mike Pomeranz.
Dick, thank you very much. We see the postgame show got a lot on tap. You're going to hear from the stars of the game tonight, including Matt Kemp, who is really picking up steam. Another home run tonight. That is 4 in his last 8 games. Yangervis Solarte producing tonight in the leadoff spot. We're going to break down what's making him successful. And you're going to hear from Pat Murphy, the interim manager, on his team's longest winning streak of the year.